Hi everyone, it's Olivia from Girlybunches, and in this week's video I'm going to be showing you how to do this bullion stitch. So this isn't necessarily sort of the outcome that I'm showing you, I'm just going to be showing you a method of doing this really kind of interesting bullion stitch. Now you may have heard of bullion stitch in I don't know if it's in knitting, definitely in embroidery, and it's definitely in crochet. And it is a pretty tricky stitch to do because it basically involves wrapping the yarn around the hook lots and lots of times, and then essentially what you need to be able to do is pull that hook through all those loops there. I'm not doing this properly, and I'm just kind of exaggerating how tricky and you know, it is to do. And yeah, I'm already given up. Yeah, not interested. Okay, so to do this really adorable stitch, what I've found is you can use a latch hook. So this is a latch hook which has this sort of movable arm here, which closes the hook to make a loop, and then it flexes back so that it opens and closes, which is just, you know, brilliant. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think these are sort of used for rug making. You pull this up through your webbing and then you sort of pull the yarn through. I don't know, never done it, but I believe that that's what this is traditionally used for. What I've done here is I just started off with a number of chains, can be any number, you don't have to sort of worry about it, however many you want, and then I just did a row of half trebles. I'm British, so I use British terminology. You may know those as half double crochets. I just did that, but you could just do double crochets across. Again, you may know those as single crochets, but this video is just a way of showing you how to use this latch hook to do this stitch here. So it really is, you know, no bother how many, you know, we're doing across here. It's just showing you this method. So I've done a row here of half trebles, and I'll show you the return row. So I'm going to show you both rows, and I'm just going to chain 2 because this bullion stitch does have a bit of height to it, and if we just started doing the stitch, it would sort of pull down, and we don't want to do that. We want to keep them sort of as uniform as possible. Finished with my normal crochet hook, we're putting that to one side for the minute, and I'm going to use this latch hook. So we're going to put the latch hook through the loop, and now what we need to do is we need to wind 8 strands onto this hook. So that's just wrapping it around 8 times. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you can do more or less, it's up to you. If you do more, then you may want to use more chains as your return row number height, so you may need to do 3 or 4, but you kind of work that out as you're going along. But I've got 2. I'm using double knit yarn. This was a 4mm hook, and you don't really get to choose the size of these, so you can, I've used these on thicker wools. I haven't really used it on thinner yarns, so I'm not really sure how it would work, but I'm using double knit here and it's working just fine. So back to the point. I've got my 8 loops on my hook. Now I'm going to put the hook, I'm going to pull it down a bit, and that's just automatically closed that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I've lost the loop there. It's automatically closed it, and I'm going to put it through where I would normally put my hook. So that's through those 2 you know, parts of the stitch there, so the front and back loops there. Now I'm going to grab some yarn, so I can flick that forward, grab some yarn, close it, but it will naturally sort of close as you're working the yarn, and as you can see I'm pulling it, it just closed up there. So I'm going to pull that loop through. Now the yarn in this hand, your tension hand, have it so loose, have it really loose. We don't want to pull anything tight here, we need everything flowing nice and smoothly. So now I'm going to put the yarn over the hook again, and you can see it opened up, and now I'm going to pull this loop all the way through. Let's get nice and close there, through all of those loops on the hook. So I've just closed that, but as you see, as I pull it down, you can see it closed up nicely, and this is where you want to make sure this hand is not holding onto the yarn tightly, and you know, just help it through, just sort of work it gently and it will come through. Give it a little wiggle, and there you go, it's come through. Now we just need to grab some yarn again and put it through that loop, and there's your stitch done, and that's it. How absolutely fabulous is that? So excuse me, got very excited there. I'm going to do that again. So we're going to put the yarn over the hook 8 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make sure it's nice and loose, you don't want anything tight here. Now I'm going to put my, just going to flip that over, that's it. I'm going to put my hook through the next stitch. So go nice and slowly until you get used to it, and as you see, that sort of opened up it all by itself. We're going to grab the yarn and we're going to put it through, and it's closed that up nicely, so that's nice and easy. And now I'm going to put the yarn over and pull it through all of those loops there now. And it is a bit of practice because it is a different sort of tool we're using here. But go nice and steady, slide them all off, and then just finish that stitch off by putting a loop through the top loop. We're getting there, we're getting there, yay, there we are. And there we go, there's the bullion stitch. So again, I'll just go through that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put the hook down in through the stitch, grab some yarn, pull it through, and then pull your yarn through all of those loops. All of them, Olivia. There we go, and then just one more to finish that off at the top. So there you go. So I'm going to work all the way across, and I'm just going to show you quickly how to do a return row. Okay, so I have gone all the way to the end there. As you can see, it's not got the straightest edges, but there's a lot going on here. You know, this is a lot of textured stitch work here, so you know, bear with it. But yeah, and it does eat the yarn up, as you can imagine. But this would look great if each of the rows were different colours, but you know, you could make this into lovely bracelets. You know, really love this stitch. Okay, so just to work across those stitches, just to show you what that looks like. So I'm doing half trebles, so I'm doing 2 chains to replace a half treble. That's yarn over, and you're just going to go through where you've got, you'll see on the back you've got the the bullion stitch, and then this long edge stitch here, so you want to go through that like that, and then yarn over, and so you want to put the hook through that. You can see where I'm putting it, so you've got the, looks like a cocoon almost, doesn't it? So you've got the bullion stitch, and then you've got this long edge stitch here, and that's where I'm putting the hook in between those there. And that's it, and that's how you sort of work across that. So it does look fairly like crochet, but it does neaten up the edge somewhat to work in the next row. Okay, just a couple more stitches there to finish that row off, and there we go. I'm going to fasten that off now, because I am done, and that's just finished off that top row there. So you can now start working your next row of stitches into recognisable stitches. So yeah, I just think this is great. This latch tool has really made a difference. I've always wanted to do this stitch. I've never been able to do it just using the crochet hook at all, just not been able to at all. and this has just changed everything. I can now do this stitch. So if you struggled before with bullion stitch, maybe invest in a latch hook. They are very cheap, they're not sort of expensive. I think this was maybe £5, you know, and it's a nice, you know, it's a durable thing. It's not, it's got the nice handle, so, you know, I'm sure you could probably find them cheaper on eBay, you know, whatever. eBay's great, isn't it? And you get this fabulous stitch. So I was just showing you this great stitch. I hope you enjoyed this. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. If you can do a bullion stitch without a latch hook, then I think you're brilliant and amazing, because I can't do it. And if you use this in a project, I'd love to see what you make with it. Why not drop me a picture on my Facebook page or on Instagram, and I'll see it and I'll no doubt love it. Okay, so questions, if you have any, in the comments box down below. I'd love a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you haven't. Hi to everyone who's new. Hi to everyone who's not new. Thanks for sticking around for so long, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.